Hi there, Kevin Tharp here, and today we're going to have a little conversation, kind of pull together where we're at. We are in beginning of week 4, into week 3, just ended yesterday. So what I want to do is kind of, instead of talking about logistics, which is what most of these updates have been about so far, I'll handle logistics in um, a different video if there's something that needs to be done. I want to talk about the content, what we're doing here, what we've been doing. Now, obviously, week 1 was kind of about let's get started in the class, get access to the textbook, all of that. So that was kind of what are we going to be doing in class space. In week 2 and week 3, what we focused on is starting to understand what is this area that we're talking about, search engine optimization. What are the different systems involved? What are metrics? What is everything? Sort of really big picture up there about what are these things that we're doing? Why are we studying this? And such. So now we've kind of laid the framework for where we're going to be going in the rest of the class, and now we start getting to the applied stuff. I mean, it's still theory, but we start to do applied theory at this point, so that we actually start getting involved with what's going on. So as we go into this, the in week 4, we're going to start looking about the on-site audit, and the on-site audit is about the stuff that happens within your site, the stuff that you have control of. So, for example, I've got a website that I use for posting. It's mostly technology stuff, analytics, WordPress, stuff like that, and I'm in a position now. I just migrated from one host to another and moved it to WordPress and da 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 da. There's a lot of work that still needs to be done, but I need to keep in mind as I'm doing this a couple of things. First off, the analytics is changing. So what you learn in analytics about Google Analytics, they're changing the way that they do that. Other things that are changing that are more specifically related to search engine optimization. I don't know how close you're tracking the technology. Obviously, I watch what's going on in this space quite a bit, but Bing is moving to or Microsoft is moving to a artificial intelligence based search engines. So a lot of the stuff that we've been learning, it still applies, but this is just in that realm of things change quickly when you're dealing with modern communications technology, marketing technology, because we are in, I would say, maybe the pubescent stage of this technology. We kind of have an idea of where it could go, but we don't know where it's going to, and it's changing really, really fast. And artificial intelligence is one of those things that is going to have an impact on anybody who is working in the digital realm, and frankly, on everybody in life, because it's becoming so prominent. It's becoming part of so many things. So some of the things that we've learned along the way, they're going to be changing a little bit. That's the nature of it. Artificial intelligence is going to do that. I saw an article yesterday where Bing has signed up over 1 million users to beta test their artificial intelligence based search engine. So clearly they have not, we don't have a picture of what that is, what it looks like, and all of that. But we know that things are changing. And as I'm watching the stuff that's being printed about this, they are starting to say that this may be the time when Google loses their dominance, because there's different ways of doing things, and frankly, that is the evolution of technology. And frankly, that should be exciting to you if you are planning on going into this field, because search engine optimization analytics have not gotten easier. As the environment gets more and more complex, the ability to affect search results gets harder. The way that we look at data changes. So this is going to be a constant. If you go into any field that's remotely related to this, it's going to be a constant field of change for the foreseeable future because we really have no idea the impact that is coming as a result of things like artificial intelligence. I mean, if you go back to when I started working in the internet in 1994, everything that we're doing, you couldn't have imagined it. There weren't even hyperlinks at the time. You had no the entire path. It was more like interacting with code than with graphical user interfaces. So I mean, it's come a long way, and it's only just starting. But the principles that we're learning in this class, going back into the content of the course, it's going to remain relevant. So the audit is going to continue being relevant. Uh, the systems, the metrics, the systems are changing. The metrics are going to change. But that is just, again, part of the nature. So what you need to realize is that whatever you're learning in here, it's designed not to be the answer, but a place for you to understand what the questions need to be so that as you're moving forward and all this stuff is changing, that you're not left behind um, because you studied something that was very specific. How do I do this? How do I do that? We'll cover that. We'll do some of that, but that's not what we're doing in this class. What we're doing is we're taking a, a shot from way out there, and we're trying to see what's happening so that you can see what's going on beyond what's immediately in front of your eyes, or that is even immediately visible. So that's my goal for each of you, is to teach you in this class how to learn about where all of this stuff is going. In that way, I love this textbook. This textbook is so spot on with the way that I had the class designed, and they're updating it regularly. And so I'm just you've got a good opportunity here. For years and years, there were no textbooks, and but what we're going to do is we're going to start moving into how do things actually work. And so, from the textbook standpoint, what we're going to be looking at, and this is to me is really cool. Let me expand that here. So we've already done chapters on kind of what is search. We've looked at searcher behavior, the user. We've looked at search engines, and we've looked at performance indicators. So now we're going to start moving away from sort of those systems kind of things to how does this all work? So in chapter 5, you're going to be looking at crawlability. So what you're dealing with there is looking at the content from a standpoint of a crawler or an artificial intelligence system that is trying to look at your site and understand what's going on there so that they can provide the best content to whoever's searching for it. In chapter 6, we look at user experience. So chapter 5 is about working with the search engines. Chapter 6 is about working with the users. And in the end, when all these changes go, long after I'm gone from this world, the content that you're creating will always need to be designed for the person who needs that content. And as long as you keep that in focus, search engine optimization is about creating the best content possible for the people who need that content, so that the goals of you or your organization or whoever is creating the content match up with the goals of the people who are using it. That's when you will find success in search engines, in your website, in life in general. And so that's what we're starting to look at. And that's the lens that I would like you to bring to this, is that ultimately this is about search engine optimization, is about how you create great content and you make it available in a way so that the search engines understand what is in that great content. And when somebody is looking for that kind of content, that they are better able to match you with the user. And that really is the fundamentals of search engine optimization. There's users to think about, there's systems, there's technology, there's analytics, there's all these things to talk about. But if you boil it all down to the most important part, It's about finding a way of creating content that matches your users' needs and then working with that content in a way that the search engines can put it in front of them. And that really is what this class is all about, is looking at how do we do that. So as we move into week four, we have a minor shift here in the way that we're doing things. Um, and that's good. That means that we're moving to a higher level of starting to understand what's going on here. And I'm going to leave it at that for now because I'm approaching the time that this will cut me off, and this is what I wanted to limit my learning to. So, one of the things you can do for yourself is go out and look. If you want to see what's going on with what Microsoft is doing with artificial intelligence, do do a search for Bing Microsoft artificial intelligence and see what's going on, because ultimately after you're out of this class and gone on to the world, that's what you need to do, is to know how to get to wherever it is you need to do to learn what you need to do. That is the user side of search engine optimization, from the standpoint of I need to understand what search engine optimization is and where it's going. That's all I've got for you for today, at least from the standpoint of the big picture. What are we doing? What are we trying to understand? You guys know how to get in touch with me. I will talk to you later. Bye bye.